And we actually have four main items today, right? So me and Peko and the rest of the crew will be talking about the four parts of our development. One is XPOS Development. The other one is actually PERS update. The third is the decentralized product that we have been talking about, and many of you have contributed, including the naming of the product. And also, last but not least, very important, which is what we are going to do in Q3 2022. So let's dive in. All right, so in Q2, we have activated several merchants in different parts of the world. We have done it in Argentina and Brazil. We have also done it in Turkey, which many of you know. We have converted many of the foreign exchange to crypto exchange. So a very interesting and growing demand in Turkey. We were at Honduras, right? We were at Honduras and it was a very special trip. So I think Peko will share with us her experience in Honduras. We also activated in Japan and also UAE. So some of you know that the UAE activation targets some of the very high-end retailers. So, you know, fancy cars, fancy watch, and things like that. So XPOS is not just for buying coffee, but also buying fancy things if you dig that kind of stuff. All right. So since Prospera, which is the company in the special economic zone in Rotan, made Bitcoin one of the legal tenders, Peko and her team went there and met officials to seek the possibility to deploy XPOS. The result has been very positive, and our plan is to continue working with the locals and even hiring some local representatives to push for crypto education and adoption there. And I think the Rotan case is very similar to the El Salvador case. And we are very lucky to be the first mover. I think, if I'm not mistaken, probably the first international company to reach out and to work with Rotan in this venture. So I think we want to hear it from the horse's mouth. So Peko was there. Tell us about how beautiful the place is and what you guys did there for activation.
All right. So if you're looking at Bitcoin Beach in El Salvador, I think if you like it, and I think you will love the beach in Rotan, especially in Prospero. And there's a merchants already become XPOS merchants who has a scuba dive shop. So at that regions, we see that there are the official is very open for doing business, and as well as to onboard the crypto merchants as well. And they are also encourage the usage of crypto. Especially, we have met a lot of Bitcoin holders, and they are really helpful for us to establish all things, including legal things in Prospero. And also not only Prospero, we also met the government officials, congressmen in Honduras as well, to express our interest in expanding in the country. So cannot do it without our team. We have a Honduran lawyer in our team, and also our David, our chief legal officer, and also Balan, our the legal general counsel. So they spend a lot of time to study the laws and also to work together with Prospero to make the crypto more available in this special economic zone.
And I think one thing very interesting is that, you know, everyone is asking, like, you know, how big Rotan is, what kind of island is that? So I think one of our objective is to kind of like, if I may, dominate the whole island, right? For everyone, whenever they want to use crypto, we want to like make XPOS payment the default payment in the whole island, which is has lots of tourists in the Caribbean and North America.
Yes. In that island, actually, it's a very good sandbox environment because people had doubt regarding crypto payment and how to massively push into the countries, right? So the island itself doesn't have many residents. It's lower than 1 million population, but what is good is that the official is open for the crypto adoption, and they didn't see any issues pushing it out because the island itself, people spend US dollar on that island, which is from the tourists, right? So if this is a tourist intensive island and they actually not only spend US dollar, but they also would like to spend their crypto as well. And so this is a perfect size for this kind of sandbox experiment to see whether crypto payment can be a major attraction for the tourists and also to be a cost to kind of stimulate the local economy as well.
Yeah, and like you say, the legal team led by David actually played a huge role. So since David is here, I don't know if David wants to say a few words.
Yeah, no, it was a really exceptional opportunity for us because there's no place on earth. I mean, you can compare it to other places that have accepted Bitcoin as legal tender, but they haven't been as sort of opportunistic or willing in terms of regulation. And so they're really, really open and unique in all the places that we've looked at in terms of allowing us to use whatever laws we want to do. I think we're going to have a very smooth KYC process. I'm very hopeful about that. So I think it's going to be a really interesting project, and I think one that can be replicated elsewhere. But it's a great test for us, and then because we can easily expand into Honduras, and that will be from sort of a different perspective, one that's much more engaged with government and academia to educate the population with regard to cryptocurrency. So I'm very, very hopeful. I think it's going to be a really exciting experience for us.
A very good control environment. All right. So I think apart from Rotan, and another country in that time zone is actually Argentina. So I think our distributor in Argentina have recently stepped up the game a lot, and they have kicked off local marketing activities, including promoting Pundi X on the radio and hosted meetups events. So I think one very special take home is that they didn't really tell us so much in that they will do it, but they just went and do it. Yeah, they probably told Joel a little bit more, but I was quite pleasantly surprised that there was so much coming out from Argentina. So that is also something very interesting. Right. So I think next we can look at some of the statistics about XPOS transaction in Q2, right? So what are the top 5 crypto payments countries? So, right. So let's look at the slides. I think you guys can see the slides. So the top countries are actually Uganda, Turkey, US, Brazil, and France. And then the top tokens that are being used as the payments are actually Pundi X, USDT, BTC, ETH, and also our partner in North America, Arrow. So they have their own ecosystem, as some of you might know. Then let's take a look at the XPOS transaction by crypto sales. The top country is Turkey, which I think come as no surprise, is my first guess as well. And then Uganda, US, Brazil, and France. And then the crypto sales is actually Pundi X, FX, Arrow, BNB, and BTC. So I think for those of you that are following, I think there was a report on Bloomberg and what else? I think two main news channels. I think Blockhead also retweeted. So in fact, they took a caption of a ticker, like a physical ticker by the streets. So actually Pundi X and FX was actually in the main ticker slide. So that was taken in Turkey, and I believe it was taken at one of our Forex exchange turn crypto exchange shop. So I think, yeah, there's quite a bit of recognition in Turkey in what we are doing. And of course, as always, the X wallet growth territories, the most active user countries is US, Brazil, Turkey, India, UK, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Uganda, South Korea, and France. And the download countries are US, Brazil, Bangladesh, Turkey, India, Nigeria, UK, South Korea, Indonesia, and Spain reappearing. Yeah. So these are some of the statistics that we have, right?
We also share a little bit insights. We offer, the XPOS offer the receive crypto and sell crypto to the blockchain wallet. So the third-party blockchain wallet. So we have also see the growth from the third-party blockchain wallet too. So very, very good to see there are actually two source of growth. One is from X wallet, the other is from the third-party blockchain wallet.
And also in Q2, we improved XPOS functionality by adding currency switch and auto on-chain withdrawal in BEP20, right? I think it's something that merchants wanted so that they can get their stablecoin faster through Binance Smart Chain transaction if the amount is under 1,000. So basically being compliant and also being fast at the same time. You have a lot of experience in the merchant portal. So Peko, why don't you share with us some of the things that is going on there as well? Yeah. You are muted, Peko.
So we are continue working on the improving our product because since we have new usage requests, especially from the crypto exchange business model. So when you are actually operating the crypto exchange and you have the situation that you will accept all kinds of different currency from different countries. So our merchant is actually request a feature that whether they can switch fiat currency very easily because in the past when you register XPOS and then you fix to a certain currency which is related to the to where your country is, and with this improvement we'll be able to deliver that the merchants can actually switch the currency in the back end through our merchant portal. So this is very handy features for them. And also to allow the merchants to withdraw without the wait times, and they can all the withdrawal lower than 1,000 US dollars that can do on chain and do automatically, and it can be on BEP20 because some merchant has saying that the ERC20 sometimes the gas fee is too expensive. So we switched the chain to offering the auto withdrawal on BEP20. So when XPOS merchants would like to withdraw, it's all in BEP20, unless you want to make a manual request that you want to do it on ERC20. But otherwise, it will be all on BEP20.
And I think we are talking that which is our XPOS, which is our centralized POS, and I think things will really take a 180 change on like so many chains that we can support, which we will talk about it today in this session. So but of course in Q2, we also Pundi X was also listed on a few more exchanges. Of course, all the big exchanges, if not most, if not all, have already listed us. And in Q2 this year, we have a few more, and those exchanges listed us without contacting us. So thank you. If you guys actually reach out to them, it's good to know. So I think we can also show the exchanges on the next slide. Yeah. Or is it showing already? Okay, sure. So, all right. So next, I think we can move a little bit to PERS. So PERS, as we know, is actually a loyalty reward point for Pundi X token holder. The second part of liquidity mining came out recently, and apart from the original 1 billion PERS that was in the farming pool, we added another 1 billion. So that makes it 2 billion PERS that was added into the pool. You can use PERS to redeem different things, including Netflix gift cards and etc. So far, 2.1 billion PERS has been burned. And as you guys know, it is a BDL mechanism. So which means that every transaction actually burns something or actually returns something to the holders that are holding it. So we are slowly ramping up some activities for PERS, but rest assured there are many more things coming. Next, something very interesting, which is we are actually engaging the community to name the decentralized products that we have. So I think thanks again for the community. I think who won it? I think if I'm not mistaken, is Claudio and Scene, right? I hope I didn't get it wrong. Is that correct? Okay. So a community member, I think I got it right, but refer to the official account for the right names. All right. So thank you for the community's contribution. We have new names for the decentralized products. So the project name Decentralized XPOS now is called Exchange. So Exchange, and the project name Decentralized XPOS now is called X Card, and the merchant dashboard, which the merchant uses a lot, now becomes X Scan. So let's dive in and understand why are we calling it Exchange for Decentralized XPOS and what really it is about. I think apart from the terminology change, the underlying change is very massive. I think it's really a game changer. Even though right now it's crypto winter, but just listen to this and see what's the changes are. So the key features of Exchange, which is originally project name Decentralized XPOS, is one, it will support multiple blockchain networks. So we're talking about Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, Avalanche C chain, which is the Avalanche EVM chain, and several more to come. But those that I've mentioned are already being supported. So this is one, which means that any token that appears on any of those blockchain, in theory, user are able to buy and sell or use those tokens on any of those blockchain to buy their favorite items in the real world. So this is item number one. The second one is that apart from so many cryptocurrency on different chains that we will be able to support, we will also be able to support 170 fiat currencies and their exchange rates. So this is a big thing for merchants because previously, say, if I'm in Taiwan and I use a Taiwanese number, my XPOS will only be able to show the local currency Taiwanese dollar. So I can't switch to other currency, which we realize in some of the stores, they need this because they are serving the tourists and etc. So we are offering almost every currency in the world, a fiat currency. So this is second feature that will come into decentralized XPOS. The third is that you can withdraw anytime, anywhere. It is non-custodial, so the store owner owns the private key of the wallet, and he can sell it to anyone that has an app with which they own a private key. So whether an app that has a private key that supports Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, or Avalanche. So basically, we are breaking down the barrier whereby only X Wallet user is able to buy crypto on our POS, our XPOS. Now, anyone with a decentralized wallet can buy or use or spend in the decentralized XPOS, which we call exchange. All right. So of course, they will also get reward for transaction mining for Purse. Yeah. So I don't know, Peko, if you want to add something for exchange, or I will jump into Xcard. Yeah.
I think you explained very clearly. Yeah.
All right. So Xcard is actually the XPOS card that many of you have used it before. So the XPOS card is a centralized version. So we are the custodial, and Xcard is actually non-custodial, which means that it is a private wallet in a card. So maybe you can call it a private mini Trezor, a private mini ledger, for lack of analogy. So, but one thing very important is that the hardware wallet is based on Infineon chipset. So a multinational German company which is famed for building electronics and security chipsets. So this allows users to own their private key and pay and buy crypto via the exchange app on XPOS. So user can also access Xcard by tapping the card on an NFC-enabled phone and proceed with the transaction. So that means that the card that user will be holding from now on will be the X card, and it will be decentralized. They truly own the crypto that they buy. And that means it is also not limiting it to our own ecosystem, but anything in such as Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, Polygon, and Avalanche. And Xcard also supports NFT. So you can actually tap and own the NFT in that card. And it's yours because you own the private key.
I can add on one of the exchange that in the future exchange app, not only on XPOS, and it can be a form of APK that can be on any Android based devices. So if there's any devices that run on the Android system, and exchange app can be downloaded to the users devices, and then to use it as a decentralized exchange point of sales interface.
Yeah. And I think the last but not least is actually Xscan. It's a very merchant facing, merchant needs it a lot. So regular user don't see it much, which is the merchant portal. The decentralized version of the merchant dashboard is now called Xscan, a powerful dashboard for merchants to add addresses and monitor their on-chain transaction, including assets across all the different blockchain networks that we mentioned. This is also the portal for distributors to sign up their merchants for transaction mining. So in essence, Exchange, Xcard, and Xscan are decentralized services, and they are using the Pundi X chain. So the Pundi X chain is a subnet of Function X layer 1 protocol. So I guess now things really fall into places very nicely. And in the roadmap, Pundi X chain will also utilize and record all the on-chain transactions. So from multiple blockchain networks on XPOS via exchange. So in essence, if you transact on decentralized XPOS, which is now called exchange, your transaction will be recorded on chain, and that will incentivize merchant and distributor to participate and use, because that will also involve transaction mining. So the next time a fresh private wallet buys a coffee, you would see that transaction happening. So, I mean, now we see it on Etherscan, all the transaction that's happening. All right, it's really, really great. But the truth is, the transaction, 99% are trading, speculating, EVM bots, like buying and selling, farming. Okay, it is important, an important puzzle, but the transaction that you will see on Pundi X chain are real people spending crypto in real things. So I think we are doing something very meaningful in the space. Exchange will be available on Pundi XPOS as one of its applications. So if one of the merchant is here, you know that you can just fire up, like you fire out PayPal in your XPOS. So of course, since it's a app, it is an APK that can be downloaded for different Android POS, and if you have Bluetooth enabled on your mobile phone. So in that sense, a Bluetooth enabled mobile phone can become a XPOS. So again, it's something that everyone is asking, and now it is becoming a reality. Yeah. Yeah. So Peko, do you have anything to add on that? Yeah.
Yeah. I want to put an emphasis on this development because this is more like the decentralized development from actually led by FunctionX developer team, and it's actually operate as a separate team on this product, and the documentation will be available separately, and in the future will be on docs.xblockchain.app. So there will be a separate depository on all this development and about this exchange product features, and also the version of improvement. All that information will be available on a separate domain.
Yes, and also the FunctionX developer team is now working on all the products that's being mentioned, and the documentations will be available on, as you said, docs.xblockchain.app. We will leave the detail of the FunctionX development timeline into the FunctionX AMA. So I think the next one we can David, we can talk about that more. And on July 11th, Exchange and Xcan will be open to all XPOS merchants for beta testing. So in 3 days time, right, Peko?
Right, and for Xcan, everyone can use it. So you can also participate the testing as well. We will have allocate 500 X card to give away to celebrate the FX Core 1 year birthday, and we contribute 500 X card for the beta tester. So please test it and also give us the most constructive feedback to us.
Yes. And all right, so I think it's now the time to open the questions to the floor. So drop your messages, questions on the message, or even better, you can actually speak directly into the mic. Yeah.
So when did you say we were going to get these XPOS cards to play with?
Right. For the Express card, you mean X card, right?
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah. For X card, we are actually in the testing period, and Infineon actually will produce a new set of the cards for us. So it's a separate production, and we are now in the testing. So once we finish the testing, it requires 2 or 3 months to produce. And plus the delivery time, I would say something the end of this year, no later than early next year, hopefully. So chip production actually is not in our control. So we have to, for the exact timing, we have to consult with Infineon.
Okay, Christmas presents, cool.
That's a very good idea.
Yeah, and also Blockhead asks, what's the time frame for Lightning Network Edition? So we are right now testing the Lightning Network Edition. It's something that a lot of people are asking for, especially in the Latin American market. So it's actually in our timeline, which we are planning to share in a few minutes time. So yeah, all right.
Sorting.
Yeah. Okay. Shady is asking, when will be possible to have a new use case to Purse? Also, will it be related to that decentralized XPOS incentive program? Okay. I personally think that it's a big use case, and it's a use case that is connected to Web3 and something that we all will use every day. I think that is all we can share for now. Yeah. Okay. Are there any questions that we collated online or on Twitter, Telegram, that kind of stuff? Okay, so I think there's a question. What happened to Bob? Right. I think there were a few questions like, do you want to compete with Solana on the new mobile phone, things like that. So I think we can just summarize and say that Bob was a very great experimentation, and we almost launched it. We did a fundraising, and then not fundraising, what's it called, like Kickstarter, right? Yeah,
Realtor, yes.
yeah, and then we almost gone into production, but COVID hit, and we couldn't get the factories in China to get it done. So I think the management really went through and decided that we want to focus on the things that we have right now, and there's no plans to kind of like revive and compete with Solana. But of course, we did leave the documentation and some codes open source. So if you want, or if you're interested, feel free to take a look at it. And I think no matter what, at least Pundi X and Function X can claim that we were the one that made the first blockchain call, not Solana. So at least that's something that we can claim that we have done. Yeah. All right. The next one is, when will we see XPOS terminals in Canada? Yeah.
I can answer this question. We actually have a distributor in Canada. So the distributor called Noobeco. So Noobeco. So there are also some merchants in Canada as well. And if any of you interested in become XPOS merchants, you can visit www.noobeco.com, and it will direct you to the ordering page, where our distributor will assist you with onboarding.
Yeah, correct.
Guys, Joao here. Allow me to add something. If you go to shop.pundix.com, you have the option to order an XPOS device in Canada. So you just select order now, and you will see the Canada option.
Okay. Yes. Good. So, and for other countries that is not in the list, if you are interested to become a distributor or even buy in bulk, shop.pundix.com is also the place to go to. All right. So, finally, what's in store in Q3 2022, the next quarter, the upcoming quarter? One is that the decentralized products that we talk about will go into public testing, right? We have gone through parts of private testing, so we will now go into the public testing. The second is that we will support more tokens for on-chain transactions and listing them on the decentralized version of our product. The third is to grow the PERS award redemption with partners so that the transaction mining, and for those of you who have claimed PERS, have the reason to hold it and a place to use it. And the fourth, as we mentioned, is actually to integrate Bitcoin Lightning Network into it. So these are the four main items, but there are more that we are working on in Q3 2022. Yeah. So I think we have come to the end of the AMA. So is there any questions, final words that anyone wants to shout out or ask? Yeah.
Zach, I think we have one question from the YouTube live. Asked about how has Pundi X received. I think he wants to ask about has any Pundi X received the license from Singapore Monetary Authority?
Good question. David.
Not yet.
All yours.
Not yet. So you know, we're plugging away. We've I think I've mentioned it before, but the turnover at the Monetary Authority of Singapore is similar to the turnover that you would find in a McDonald's. So we're now on our fourth government agent who is looking after us, and every hoop that's been put in front of us, we have jumped through, and I'm still very confident that it will happen. Why it hasn't happened yet? I think governments and Singapore in particular is kind of a contradiction in terms, in that on the one hand it tries to present a very kind of liberal and welcoming environment, but on the other hand they're extremely protective, and so you know, I think particularly when the market is down, this parental concern comes up from the government in terms of we want to protect our citizens. So there's hesitancy in terms of passing out more licenses. But we're, you know, again, I remain very confident that it's in the offing.
Yeah. Likewise. For reasons we cannot share, but we are very confident. Yeah. All right. And also, David, you said that, you know, Singapore is also very careful and when it comes to this. And just a side note, the national news channel, Channel News Asia, will be showcasing about crypto and on Money Mind this weekend. So I think maybe you will see Pundi X in the show talking about crypto and also how compliant we are. So yes. All right. So I think we are at the end of the show. So thank you guys for logging in and coming and join this AMA. So thank you once again, and hope to see you guys in the next AMA. Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.